Hello, people. I wanted to come on this morning and have a discussion around validation and how validation is really quite important in your development and forward movement in terms of the awakening process. Now, validation is really quite important in terms of your expression about yourself and where you see yourself within the awakening process. And let's be clear, there are thousands and thousands of people having this experience, this awakening experience. So if you are one of those people who are looking for validation from another person who is not having your experience, then you're going to be on a road to a hiding. This is your experience. This is your validation of yourself and what you are actually experiencing. So let me be clear before I move on from this point. This is your validation. This is your experience of seeing symbols, seeing colours, hearing whispers. You're not on your own. You are not on your own. This video this morning, I'm going to call Chosen Ones. And let me make another statement. If you are watching this recording, you are one of the chosen ones. You are. Let me repeat myself. You are one of the chosen ones. It's just the fact that you need to believe what you are experiencing, believe what you are seeing, believe what your body is telling you, more importantly, what your heart is saying to you, not your mind, what your heart. And what also is that you are evidencing for yourself your own validation. Now, this recording I'm going to call Chosen Ones. This topic is important, really important, in terms of your development and forward movement. Validation, definition, the action of checking or providing the validity, can't even say validity, or accuracy of something. The word validity is who you are. Validity is your character, your authenticity. Whatever is in your heart is displayed for others to see. Validity, in other words, is your energy. Energy does not lie. Energy cannot lie. It is a matter of learning to read energy. When I first started, or should I say, when this happened to me, the awakening process, I ignored it, and until one day I had to turn around and face what was happening to me. And in terms of facing, being real to myself that I am still having an experience, what I tried to do is try to convince other people that I was having an experience. And what delayed my development, was the fact that people, sleepers, that I spoke to about my experience, saying it was not possible. So that then cast doubt on what my experience is, or was at that time that I was having. And don't underestimate me. The awakening process is a hard, difficult process to get your head round. particularly some of the things that happen during the awakening process, spiritually. I can't stress that enough, that it is a difficult process. The awakening process is something that I was not aware of. I didn't even know of all the things that I know now that are true. And if you are having the awakening experience, then you really, if you're still in doubt, then you really need to wake up to yourself. I can't stress that enough. You need to start waking up to yourself and looking at some of the things that are happening around you, because they are real. Absolutely real. If you really listen to what people say to you, they will inform you what they see in you. It is your discernment that will establish whether a person is of similar energy to you or whether a person is of low density. And this is an important statement, really, because if you are socializing with people of low density, you will never, ever convince them of your experience. Never. And that the important factor here is that they know who you are before you know who you are. They know what your gifts are before you know what your gifts are. And these people of low density, their job is to take you in another direction from the direction that the universe wants you to go in. And this is true. This is real. Experience self. Who are you? You are your own strength. You are your own integrity, belief, and understanding. You are your confidence. And believe you me, to go through this awakening experience, you have to gain confidence in yourself. You have to. And the only way to do that is to start to evidence your own experience. And once that is established, firmly established in your own mind, then, and only then, you will start to make headway in your own experience. I'm getting choked here, really, because I've been on this journey all my life. I've established, but more so over the last 3.5 years, when things have started to come to a head for me within the awakening process. You are your experience. You are your own validation. Instead of relying on others to validate you, rely on your own energy. Do not give this away to other people. I'm talking about your energy, because people of low density, they want your energy. They thrive on your energy. They will take your energy and not even look back and see how you're coping. People have lost weight because they are around low density people, and these people take other people's, chosen ones' energy. Relationships. Integrity is about who you are to self. I'm not talking about your family. I'm not talking about your friend. I'm not talking about your acquaintances. I'm talking about your relationship with yourself. For me, before my awakening process, my awakening journey, I was a pleaser. I just pleased people all the time over myself. That was my core self, to please other people. And not that now I want to upset people, because that's not what it's about. But now, having the journey that I have had, I am more about myself. I am more about love of myself. I am more about showing love to me before anybody else. Whereas before my awakening journey, I used to just give myself away to anybody who would have me. And to be honest with you people, most of the time I was just being used. I thought that love was about hardship, that love was about conflict, that love was about surrendering myself to whoever would take me. That's not what it's about. That's not what it's about. The awakening process is about education. It's about education of yourself. Before anybody else, it's about education. And although I have made the statement that the awakening journey is a arduous journey to undertake, it is worthwhile. The awakening process is religious based. I am not religious. But what I do have is a good heart. And what I do have is honesty, integrity, authenticity. I like to be of service to others. I do not like to see people struggle. But although in this life that we live, struggle is one of the characters that we have to overcome, because we all struggle at some length, at some point in time within our lifetime. Some of it is really quite severe, some of it is on a bland basis, but the majority of us do struggle. I've made a statement here which states, no more shrinking for the benefit of others. And what I mean by that is that I will not succumb myself for the benefit of somebody else. Which means I shrunk myself in order to please somebody else who didn't even really appreciate me. This awakening journey is not very well known, which makes it really difficult for the people who this is happening to. But as time goes on, chosen ones, as time goes on, this awakening process is going to become well known. And there are people, low density, that are going to fight against this in a big way. And this is when you, chosen one, will have to stand up and be counted for your own actions. Don't think that the universe is going to allow you to make a joke, a mockery of what is really, really quite serious. This is about humanity's evolvement, how we progress, going forward into the future. There's a word that's on the tip of my tongue and I can't get it out, but it will come. It will come. This is about how you, the awakening process, this is about how you treat yourself going forward. Excuse me. You have to be determined. Once you make your mind up that you are having a journey, the awakening journey, you will have to be determined and how you progress from that point. To be chosen, the universe is saying to you, you only, that you are valued and you have a purpose. That purpose could be small. That purpose could be medium. It could be huge. It doesn't really matter what size it is. The fact is that the universe has chosen you for a reason. The experience, emotionally and mentally, is really quite serious. It's really quite serious. There are thousands and thousands of people who have started along the awakening process that have not been able to cope with the process. Consequently, they have been hospitalized under the mental health legislation of people being vulnerable and their safety within the community they live. But for the ones who make it through, we all need to stand up and be counted. We all need to stand up and say, we've had this experience. And for those people that have been hospitalized to be treated differently, for different legislations to be devised to help these people out of the difficulty that they're having. Help these people to escape the dark into the light. And for these, important statement here, for these people who classify themselves as mental health practitioners, need to start to think again about what they're doing to these people who are having this awakening experience. Because actually, they're not mad. They're not mentally ill. They've just got stuck within the process. And they need to find a way out. And the sad thing about this, there are people in power, in governments, people that are higher than people in government that are aware of what is actually going on in terms of the awakening process. And because of money, they don't say anything. Provision. Within the awakening process, there is a lot of talk about breakthrough, inheritance, money. And what some people have done, they have tried to go through the process on the basis of what they've heard about finance, about money, about inheritance. Do not think, and I repeat this, do not think that the universe is going to allow you to go through the process just for money. What this process is bigger than you, bigger than me, bigger than money. Money is nothing compared to what your responsibility will be or would be going through the awakening process. I think it's really quite sad for those people who think that they're going to go through the process and get what they think they are entitled to in terms of blessings, abundance, whatever that they are, whatever's going through their mind, over that of being a service to people. Being a service to people, being a service to humanity is bigger than what you can put in your pocket. And I think if you think that you're going to go through the process and then benefit from what is going to be put in your pocket, and then you're going to turn around and walk in another direction, nah. You're sad if you think that's what's going to happen. Of importance here, I've talked a lot in my channel, God's channel, the universe's channel, about spiritual warfare and how spiritual warfare can affect your mind, your level of thinking. There is another thing here also that is really quite serious, and it's called quiet doubt. Quiet doubt is also on an energetic level, but it's on a low ebb in terms of the things that we say to ourselves, that we continuously say. It's like it's on a loop. And what we say to ourselves is not conducive to our forward movement, our development in terms of self. And I'm not even talking about here about the awakening process. I'm talking about some of the things that we say to ourselves that lower our confidence, that lower our energy. We're all, I was going to use the word guilty, but it's not guilty. We all do this to ourselves. I think if you go back and look into psychology in terms of the way that we humans, again, the words are not coming to me this morning, but the way that we lessen our confidence. For example, here's an example. You apply for a job, you get the interview. And on the day of the interview, or you may be even driving to the interview or sitting in a reception waiting for your interview to take place. And what you start to say to yourself is, I'm not good enough. That person who just got in before me looks better than me, looks more equipped, more sound, more able. And these are the things that we say to ourselves. And that is on an energetic level that affects the way we function on a daily basis. The way we think as individual people sometimes, and I'm guilty, the way we think is really quite sad. Really quite sad. And that is just a small element of some of the things that we say to ourselves on a daily basis that is on a loop that we don't even notice anymore, because we say it so many times that when it's on the loop, we just ignore it. So the more it goes round in the loop effect, will affect the way that we progress in the future. Low down disguises itself as humility. The kind of whisper under your awareness, but makes a difference to your mindset and daily functioning. The quiet doubt needs to be monitored. Just like I've said in terms of spiritual warfare, we need to monitor the negativity that we say to ourselves daily, hourly. Hourly, I'm talking here, hourly. Perhaps you think life is for someone more deserving, someone with a clearer calling than you. We are all valued. I want to repeat that. We are all valued. Doubt is not a moral failure. I'll repeat that. Doubt is not a moral failure. Doubt is what happens when the silence has lasted longer than your faith was prepared for. Doubt is exhaustion wearing spiritual clothes. Doubt is what shows up when you have been hoping for so long that hope itself has become tiring. Tiredness is honesty. Tiredness does not qualify you from being of purpose. God, the universe, source, the creator, is real. The spiritual realm is also real. Two lives, two dimensions. In fact, there's more than two dimensions, but the dimensions I'm talking about now is the material world in which we live and the spiritual world, or the spiritual realm. What goes on in the spiritual realm has an effect on what happens here in the material realm. The universe has stirred you away from harm. That's what makes you chosen. You are supported by the universe. The universe has pointed you in the right direction. The universe has removed all ties from your being, your vessel, so that you are able to see who you are. Let me read that again. The universe has removed all ties from your being, your vessel, so you are able to see who you are and what you are capable of. And to be clear, once the universe, and you can do this to yourself, once the universe has cut all ties from your being, your level, your clarity in terms of your thinking becomes a lot clearer. Instead of all this noise, all this messy stuff that goes around your mind on a daily basis, clearing your ties is absolutely amazing. And what I mean by ties, everybody that is connected to you, who has meaning, has a tie to you, and that is energetically. And if this person that has a tie to you is of low density or of some sort of demonic nature, or has a demon spirit within them, they will affect you and how you function, how you develop. I kid you not. I kid you not. I have had an experience since I realised that I have had an experience or having an experience. I've come across people that are evil, and their intent in doing harm. There are more people, low density people, than there are of chosen ones, or of individuals of the light, which makes it really quite difficult sometimes. Believe, I'm going to say this again, you have to evidence your experience and make sure that experience that you are having is firmly input in your mind, that nobody can deter you from your own experience. If you allow somebody to deter you from your own experience, I'm not even going to say what I'm going to say, but you can imagine what I was going to say. Validate your own experience throughout your awakening journey. No one else can do this for you. Nobody else can do this for you. Don't think that you're going to have an experience and then go and say to your best friend or your girlfriend or even your wife or your parents that you've had an experience and this is what it was. Make sure that you are strong enough, that you are confident enough in your own experience before you express it to anybody else. My path has been very messy because the universe has taken me down one path. And because of disruption of low density demonic people, the universe has taken me in another direction. And this has happened to me on umpteens occasions. And this is the difficulty, and I'm going to have to express this in the best way that I can. There are people who are referred to as fallen angels because they have actually started off within the awakening process. And because of the redirection, and there are many redirections, these people lose hope. They lose hope in the universe. They lose hope in themselves, that they just quit. And not wanting to benefit themselves, what they tend to do is to prevent people of the light from reaching their goal. And that's what their purpose is. That is what their purpose is to stop people like you advancing within the awakening process. Don't let these people do this to you. And I recognise that the whole process, and I've said the whole process, is not an easy process to navigate, but it is possible to navigate. These people, low density, demonic people, they know who they are. There are people also that have been misled and have gone down the wrong path. You know who you are. And I can only imagine the stress that you're actually going through. Because some of the things that you're being asked to do, you would never have normally done it. You've just been misled and you've been trapped, and there's no way, as you see, to get out. But there is a way. There is a way. And that is to believe in the universe. Talk to the universe. And for those people who are religious, that are stuck and being trapped, pray to the universe. The universe will come to your rescue. The universe will help you. Have faith in the direction you have been taken. This is imperative for the success of where you are now being directed. This is for the chosen ones that are still in doubt about their experience. And for those individuals who are just starting off within the awakening process, have some patience with yourself. Patience is key. Right, in order, should you choose, bless those individuals who have tried to steer you in the wrong direction. And unfortunately, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, the people who mostly try to steer you in the wrong direction are family members. If you are having a journey and having an experience, you will become wise to this. Be strong, because you're going to need to be strong. These people, family members, clearly have been in your life all your life. You've probably given more to your family members than they have actually given to you. And you'll think to yourself, why would these people want to harm me in the way that they've tried to? In some cases, people have been killed because they've been classed as chosen. They've been unalived. What I'm talking about is real. What I'm talking about is evidenced, but not widely known, but it is evidenced. Believe in the power that you have of self. Have faith in your own ability over what others try to make you believe about yourself. Your life is your experience. Again, have faith in your own ability over what others try to make you believe about yourself. Your life is your own experience. People, this is my recording for today. I hope that I've inspired people to take charge of their own life going forward, particularly within the awakening experience, which is real, which is true. It is a fact. It is reality. It is reality today. That's me. I love you. Take care.